Shanley, runs through Sharper, runs through Adele, runs through Jabari Greer. Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Look all the way down the field, Hasselback, all the offensive linemen. Are you kidding me?
Welcome to the HMD League podcast, the number one podcast in all fantasy football. If you want to be HMDing at the end of your season, you better listen to this podcast right here. Win your championship, boy. We got the Mike Bruckner, a.k.a. Larry Hoover.
A.k.a. 2-0 G-Men, a.k.a. 2-0 Sandusky Soldiers. Let's go.
So dirty. We got Ryan Bailey over here, a.k.a. the commish, who's 0-2 right now in his fantasy league and really struggling to figure out what he's going to do with his life. But let's get this going, man. Let's get it started. It's Thursday. We got Thursday night football coming up. We love Thursday night games. They're awesome.
Wins tonight. High wins.
High wins, he says. High wins. Well, I don't give a shit. I'm going to start Deontay Johnson. Let's talk about the stud of the week. Mike, who is your stud of the week? Who is your dog?
My dog is. I'm gonna start with the tail here to start this week 3. I'm in another league.
We don't talk about that league.
In this league, you might not even. This is separately. This is like my third league, but in this league, I was down 44 points going into Monday night with just this man to go. Just this man by the name of Stephon Diggs. The boy drops 44.8 points, and I win my fantasy matchup against Kamal at 0.4 points. This is the greatest comeback ever. Dude, ESPN gave me 1% chance to win, and I won. My stud of the week is Stephon Diggs. 3 tutties, so many catches, like 12 catches. This is a PPR league. Yeah, 150 yards. The dude's a fucking stud. The Bills are good. Stephon Diggs, I dig it.
He's a dog. Man, I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude. That guy is the real deal. He's the real deal. He's a certified, got to pick him, Brian certified pick, dude. A dog right here. I mean,
if we're picking today, hold my dick league, what round do you think Amon-Ra goes?
I think he goes in the second round, third round.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking him.
Dog.
I just loved him last year. He really helped me not wear the dress last year, not be in last place in our fantasy league. And should have picked him up again this year because I just knew he was still really good. But he's now showing why he's up there. The same conversation that you can put him in there with Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp and stuff like that. He's a phenomenal player. All right, let's move on now to talk about the bust of the week. Who's your bust of the week, boy?
I'm going to go with 2 here. Number 1, pour one out, RIP Trey Lance. That dude was a bust this year. Lots of hype. He comes in, he stinks it up week 1, and then the Seahawks break his ankle in the first quarter of week 2. Boy's having surgery the next day. RIP Trey Lance. We'll see ya. My other bust of the week is our number 1 pick in our league, Jonathan Taylor. Playing against the Jags, I thought the Colts were about to put up. Jonathan Taylor's going to drop 20 points easily. The dude puts up like 7 points, and the Jags fuck the Colts up. I think Jonathan Taylor owners should be worrying a little bit right now.
Yeah, I think anyone who had to get their first 3 or 4 picks are all a little weird right now. I mean, Eckler did put up some points on the Thursday night game, but he hasn't showed any sort of flashes of being a top pick.
You worried about Henry?
Oh, I'm terrified of Henry. I don't know what's going on there. He had like 10 rushes for 15 yards against Buffalo.
I think that was the Bills. Bills just like shut everyone down against the run.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I don't know. I think he'll eventually, get it going again. But yeah, right now I'm kind of a little panic mode because I drafted him and I drafted Zeke as my first 2 out of 3 picks, and they're barely even. They're
looking sexy in the dress, boy. That's some dress running backs right there. You better make a trade, boy.
Dude, I've been trying. Well, my bust of the week is Kyle Pitts, man. Like, everyone's so hyped on him all the time. And they don't even throw to him. He just blocks all day. Like, man, don't even start him. That's what we're going to talk about later today. But, he's just he's not even running routes out there, man. And Marcus Mariota, he can hit some guys. He can hit a tight end.
He capable. He capable.
Yeah, he capable, dog. And but Kyle Pitts, he's just blocking. But all right, man, let's get it going. We're gonna talk about Thursday night game real quick. Mike already mentioned the high wins. But Steelers versus Browns, not a really cool game to talk about, but it is our Thursday night game, and I like talking about Thursday night. So I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna start Deontay Johnson because I like Deontay, and I think he's a phenomenal athlete. But is there anyone else on the wide receivers to start, man? Do you start anyone else? Do you start Chase Claypool? You looking at starting anyone on the Cleveland Browns? What you got?
After seeing what Pittsburgh did last week, Pittsburgh had no passing game last week. I'd be very hesitant to start any other Steelers other than Deontay Johnson. Like I said, it's going to be windy. The wind's going to be blowing. I don't even trust any kickers. Might be a nice night to take the under here.
Always love the under. Always love the under. So would you start or sit?
The under. The under I saw last week, 11-5. If you bet the under every game, you'd be a rich man.
For Thursday night?
No, all the games last week. Of the 16, 11 of them went under.
Damn.
Something to keep in mind.
But I liked how we talked about Arizona last week. That was my pick of the week. Gotta take them.
Your pick of the week covered on the last play of the game, and then they ended up winning. Didn't take your money line. Did you notice? Because they were down 8.
They were getting destroyed, dude. They were getting destroyed. I was like, man, it's a really stupid pick of me. But then you know what? It wasn't that dumb. So start
the week this week.
So start or sit him, Freiermuth. You can start or sit.
Dude, the Muth I kind of like with the tight end. It depends who you're rolling with. I think that you could consider starting him. There's not very many tight ends to play. I like Freiermuth.
Yeah, I would say start him for sure. I would definitely say I like him. There's not great tight ends if you have to start tight end in your league. Definitely start him. And if Dawson Knox is out there as a free agent pickup, go pick him up.
I picked him up.
I know. I saw. I was pretty pissed. All right. So are we gonna drop George Pickens? A lot of guys were hyped on some of his preseason stuff. It's time to drop George Pickens. It's time to go pick up somebody else. It's time to drop Njoku. Like, what do you think?
I think we give him one more night. The boy's on a short leash. The dog's on a short leash. If he busts tonight, which I think is very possible, I think it's time to move on for Mr. Pickens.
Yeah, I don't even think keep him on a roster, drop him for sure. I agree. I know some people are already doing that, but we just wanted to, if you're on the borderline there, go ahead and drop them. All right, let's move on from this shitty game. Bills versus Dolphins. We talk about the Dolphins every week. That's what we gonna do now.
Miami boy.
That offense is just dynamic, man. It's awesome. I love it. I mean, we're not even in the conversation of talking about if you start or sit Waddle. You start Waddle and you put him in number one and put him up in there, dude. I love it, dude. I love it. But what about running back wise? You gonna start or sit Edmonds this week? I mean, for me, it's an automatic sit him. Like he's just going up against the Bills. Sit him.
Like I said, the Bills so far have shut down the Rams and they shut down Derrick Henry. I don't see them being able to run much on the Bills. I do not start Chase Edmonds. But you riding with Waddle and Tyreek all the way to the promised land this year, boy.
All the way. Just ride that horse all the way to the promised land. Starter sit Bills defense, Bills Mafia. What do you think?
They're the best D in the game. They're going up against such a great offense, but it's the best D in the game. I think the Bills are one of those teams you just got to start them every week, no matter their opponent, just because of how good they are. They can make plays, baby. They crack backs.
Bro, it's pretty awesome to watch. Picking up Von Miller is just a stud choice because he's a dog.
Such a dirty pickup.
I know, seriously. Starter sit Tua. I picked up Tua in fantasy as a waiver wire pickup, and I'm gonna start him. I don't give a shit, Mike. I'm putting him up in there. He gonna toss that pigskin all over the field.
Hold my dick league. I've been sitting alert. I've been sitting on this number one waiver spot, and I sat at my computer for 20 minutes on Tuesday night thinking, Do I use my number one waiver spot on Tua? Do I use him on Tua? Do I use him on Tua? And I ended up being a pussy and I backed out. So congrats. You enjoy Tua. I think there's a chance that Tua could be like a top 6 fantasy quarterback the rest of the year.
Last year he was my sleeper quarterback. I wasn't going to draft any quarterback but Tua. And because I just think he's a lot more talented than people like to give him credit for. And I'm excited. I was excited to see the Waddle connection. And then he really didn't do what I was hoping he would do last year. So now with Tyreek Hill, it's just an unstoppable. And with the new coach, it's just an unstoppable offense they got going on there. And he's thriving, and he's just throwing lots of touchdowns. So I'm all about it. I picked him up. I used my waiver on him. I'm going to start him over Aaron Rodgers. I'm ready to go. Let's get this thing going.
Whoa.
I know, dirty, but it's just Rodgers is not the fantasy quarterback I want right now, man.
Especially against Tampa Bay. I like that. Yeah, you go Tua this week for sure.
Packers versus Bills. Yeah, let's roll into that connection. Do you start or sit Lazard?
It depends who your receivers are. I think Lazard's the number one receiver in Green Bay. So in the red zone, I think Rodgers really does trust Lazard. He's good. He's a good bet to score a touchdown. He didn't get as many targets as I'd like last week, but I think it depends who you have. But he's one of those guys you might smoke him if you got him. If you got the spot for him, throw him in, baby. Although the Bucs secondary is shut down really good, it's something to consider too and be afraid of.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about Lazard. I just don't know if he's ready yet. He hurt his ankle. Ankles can take so long to heal up.
R.I.P. Trey Lance.
Dude, you're done for, son. So I just feel like, maybe another week he can come back and he could go and get the bigger targets. But he only got 3 targets last week, and one was for a touchdown, which is great. But you need more than 3 targets to be starting in this league. That's how I feel, man. All right, let's move on. Starter sit Julio Jones, dude. Who you starting? Who you sitting here?
I think if he's playing this week, I think you got to play him, even though the Packers are a great team. The Bucs have some issues. He's going to be Brady's number one option this week if he plays. I think let's give him a chance. I think I do start Julio.
I wouldn't see it being a bad idea. I mean, right now the passing game in Tampa Bay is pretty bad. So I know a lot of people are not going to start Tom Brady this week. I think you're one of them. You're not going to start Tom Brady. You're going to start Jared Goff. Just because they just haven't done anything. And to be honest, we're all seeing the same thing. So right now, the offense for Tampa Bay is just not great. But if you're just going to go up against, if you're going to be all by yourself with Julio Jones out there, then start him up because, we know Mike Evans ain't playing and Godwin's hurt. So, all right, let's move on. Falcons versus Seahawks. My boys, let's go. They were horrendous last week on offense. Don't start anyone from last week. That was just the worst. I don't think I started Penny. I didn't think I ended up actually starting Penny, but I'm glad I didn't because they just couldn't even move the ball at all on offense. So, but I should have started Lockett. He had 10 receptions for over 100 yards. Waiver wire pickup, by the way. And yeah, I'm just I think I'm gonna start him this week for sure. But Big Mike, who you gonna start or sit? Penny, you starting to sit Penny?
I think I'm staying away from Penny. Even though Atlanta, the game is kind of spicy, I just don't trust it. I think Kenneth Walker looked kind of good too. Didn't Penny only get like 7 carries last week or something? Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm staying away from Penny, baby.
Yeah, I think this is not the week to start Penny. I think we got to really see what happens here with this Walker Penny split carries. As a Seahawks fan, I've got my own Seahawks podcast as well, called 12 Minutes of Your Time. Check it out if you can. It is literally going to be Penny and Walker splitting carries, and then this loser named Homer who gets to take all the third down reps and all the 2-minute warnings. So I don't like him. And if you listen to the podcast, you can hear me talk shit about Homer all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna sit Penny until we figure out the whole Walker Penny situation. Starter sit Tyler Lockett. What you like, Big Mike?
Dude, dirty little waiver pickup. I think Lockett is one of those guys. Smoke him if you got him. He got over 10 targets last week, I believe. Gino loves him. I think this game has some high scoring potential. I think you start Lockett as a wide receiver 3 flex.
Yeah, I'm gonna start him. I think I'm ready
Are
to
you?
get him in that. I think I'm ready to get him in that starting lineup. Let's go, boy. Starter sit Drake London.
Oh, Drake London's an every week starter, boy. That boy's a stud.
Dude, he's a
Seahawks got some
stud.
Seahawks got some questionable corners. They're rookies. They're young. You don't know much about them, but yes, I think Drake London's an every week start.
That young quarter Tariq Woolen on the Seahawks, dude, 5th-round draft pick this year. That guy caught Deebo Samuel from behind like it was nothing. It was awesome. It was really cool to see. But yeah, Drake London should whoop up these corners if he's throwing the ball. If Marcus Mariota's like huck it, chuck it football, then we gonna get some good numbers out of Drake London. I'd say start him up. Start him up for sure. Get him going. Okay, let's move on. Starter sit Kyle Pitts. I feel like you just have to start him, man. Like, just start him, dude. Just see what you can get one more week out of him. He's such a high draft pick. Get one more week out of him. Ain't nothing special out of that Seahawks defense, ranked one of the worst defenses in the league. I say start him. I say you get it going. What do you think, Big Mike?
You know, I think that if you took Pitts, you took him in the second or third round, and there's no other tight ends unless you have someone like Kittle or Waller to play. Then you'd start him over Pitts for sure. But if you drafted Pitts, I think you're stuck with him, and you just gotta hope that it changes over there in the ATL.
Yeah,
You start Pitts.
Start Pitts. Start Pitts. Let's go, boy. Get him. All right, let's talk about these Monday night Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go.
New York 2-0 undefeated Giants. What the fuck is going on over there? Okay, let's start off. So I dropped Kadarius Toney.
You fine.
I was so hyped on him. Really hyped him on him as a sleeper. But that's the thing with sleepers, right? Is that they fall so far in drafts and you just hope that they pan out, but if they don't kill you. So what do you think? What do you think about Kadarius Toney's situation? You cutting him off your squad?
Kadarius, he's just always unavailable. Like, I think I saw a stat like this week is going to be his 19th NFL game or something, and he's been out or on the injured report for 17 of his 19 career games. Like, the dude is always hurt. He never practices. He hurts his hamstring getting out of bed. Like, the dude is brittle. The dude's a little bit of a head case. He's really hood. I have a jersey.
What do you have a Kadarius Toney jersey?
Megan got it for me for my birthday. It's I don't know. It's a random one. I think then they're really this new regime is they're not playing dudes who aren't their dudes. Like, I don't know if you saw, but Kenny Galladay, we have him on a 4-year, $72 million contract. We're paying him $18 million a year. He played 2 snaps last week. Richie James is our number 1 receiver right now. Richie James and I guess Sterling Shepard, who you might be able to start, but other than that, the only Giants guy you're starting is Saquon again.
Stud. Dog. Saquon's the dog there, dude. That's why they're 2-0.
And the Giants are 2-0. We could be 3-0. Huge week against Dallas. I'm so pumped for Monday night.
Man, dude, would they be the
and
first
the debut of Kayvon Thibodeau this week on
dirty. I hope he pans out. Most Oregon players don't, so let's go. Hey man, if you're the other side, if you're the Cowboy side, you start or sit Zeke.
You starting Zeke. You hoping that the ship turns around. And you starting Zeke. The Giants defense has been really good so far. They've been pretty good against the run. They shut down. I guess McCaffrey ran for 100 yards last week, but they kept him in check. I think you're starting Zeke.
Well, I own Zeke, so I sit here, in a conundrum because I'm just tired of him not producing. But I'm big on Monday night running backs. Let's go. Monday night running backs. Go get them, dude. Go run all day, all over them. So I like Monday night running backs. Go start them up. I'm going to start my boys on Monday night. Always. It's just how it's going to be. So I'm starting Derrick Henry. I'm starting Zeke again. Let's go.
How it's going to be.
Awesome stuff. All right. Let's move on to Twitter news real quick. What you got for Twitter news, Mike? You got anything?
Dude, Twitter news, I got Ime Udoka. I got he's about to get suspended for a whole year, which I don't get for this improper relationship. And then I saw a picture. They showed a picture like there's only one woman on the Boston Celtics staff, and she ain't that fine. It's just crazy that all this shit's going down for this is a unprecedented situation here.
Unprecedented situation.
In the NFL, if a coach does this, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care, dude. Weird. It's a super weird story. I don't understand what's going on there for sure. Yeah, I got really nothing on Twitter news right now. I mean, obviously, Antonio Brown always tweets out weird stuff from time to time. He's super annoying.
Kadarius Toney threatened a reporter in his Instagram story, said he a sorry ass clown.
Yeah. Start him if you got him. Running back out of the Buccaneers.
Lenny?
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, dude. Start him up, boy. He's sorry to everyone who hasn't scored a touchdown. He about to score all the touchdowns this week. All the touchdowns. About to get 2 or 3. All right, let's move on. All right, before we wrap this bitch up, let's go. Who you not sleeping on, Mike? Who are your 2 players you're not sleeping on this week? Who you want to put in there?
You know what? I'm not sleeping on Jared Goff this week. This Detroit Minnesota game, I just think it's about to be a shootout. They're playing in a dome. I think this game's about to be 35-32. I think Jared Goff's about to throw 4 touchdowns. I'm starting him over Tom Brady. Jared Goff proved to me that you would dog. With Jared Goff typically is not a dog.
Come on, man.
Number 2 option, I'll go. My other player that I'm not sleeping on. The rest of the country is falling asleep on him. He's your boy Derrick Henry. I think Mike Vrabel hits the films this week. He says we're about to give Derrick Henry the rock 40 times this week. We need to be 1-2. I think Derrick Henry carries the ball 40 times this week. He's a fantasy stud.
I would love that. Jared Goff, you sound so crazy, and you'll be every Jared Goff believer, truther eventually loses their truth and fucking leaves. But the Derrick Henry, I would love that. That'd be awesome. I would love him to not look like he seems like he's a smaller back this season because he's just getting knocked around so easily. All right, well, my 2 players, not so obvious. I think Allen Robinson is going to just murder it this week. Arizona is one of the worst pass defenses in the league. And I think that's just going to open it wide up for someone like Allen Robinson to just really start getting multiple touchdowns and dominate. Okay. So I'm super excited for Allen Robinson there. Arizona's defense sucks. Anyone who you want to start on the Rams, start them up. And then my second one, David Montgomery.
Okay.
That boy is a stud. I really was going to draft him over Zeke because I like him so much. But, yeah, start him up. He is the boy who's going to come out here and just mess people up this week. I'm all about it. Let's go. David Montgomery. It's his time to shine. You're going to be very happy starting him up. You'll be very happy with the production you get today. So that's it. And unless you got anything else, Mike, what you got, Mike? You got anything else?
Dude, we got a big division matchup this week with Tree Trung. Best of luck to you, Tree. His team is scoring a massive amount of points. We got a inter-division undefeated battle, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a big week for the Giants. It's a big week for Sandusky Soldiers. Let's go.
Man, good for you. I'm in panic mode. I'm 0-2. I'm 0-2 in my division. Panic mode is setting in. This is the HMD podcast, number 1 podcast in the world, Craig. Let's go, boys. Peace.